Can you use laughter to get over your stress, especially in difficult times? Welcome to Happy and Healthy Mind with Dr. Rosina. If you're joining us for the first time, my name is Dr. Rosina. I'm a psychiatrist, author, and speaker. Joining us today is Patricia Brooks. She is a former operations project manager turned into life coach, a podcast host, and author who discovered the courage to quit her job and move to France. Oh
Mhm,
my God. Some people dream about that. She uses tools such as intuitive affirmations and laughter to
mhm,
help navigate this newness and the complexity and uncertainty of living in a foreign country. And she is enjoying every minute of it.
mhm.
So, welcome, Patricia.
Thank you so much for having me, Dr. Rosina.
I know that it has been particularly stressful nowadays for you because you're right now living in France, but you were visiting US and got stuck over here because of the coronavirus thing, and so now not being in your living situation, comfortable living situation. Um, how are you handling all this increase in stress that you are going through?
Well, you make a really good point because I had intended to be here for 3 weeks, and who knows how long I will be here. And I was in a weird situation because I wasn't really sure where I was going to stay. The place I was staying at a friend's house and at a friend in her son's room. And he had to come home from school, from college, because college is shut down. And so I was really in this bad way of like, where am I going to stay? I'm going to have to stay in a hotel for 3 months. And I was watching a video on Facebook from the woman who I took laughter yoga classes from in France, and she had recorded herself just laughing, and I watched her, and she's a trained clown, and so she is really funny, and I was just watching her laugh, and I was feeling really stressed at the time. But watching her laugh, I just started laughing, and I laughed and I laughed. I laughed for about 5 minutes. At the end of that, I felt relief. I still had the problem of where am I going to stay, but I felt lighter, and it felt like that I would be able to manage some way. And so that made me think, oh, I need to do this every day. And then that's when I decided I was going to start doing these laughter yoga sessions for 10 minutes a day on Facebook. And that has really been something I look forward to now and really is a great stress relief for me.
That's wonderful. Doesn't it kind of feel odd, like you are laughing in front of a camera? How does that feel?
Well, I think that I've gotten to a point in my life where I am less concerned with what other people think. I mean, to quit my job and move to France without really having a solid plan, I do things a little bit differently. So for me, I think that's easy. That's easy. But I think that for a lot of people, laughing for no reason or laughing when things are hard, life is hard, it can be challenging. And but there's so many good benefits from doing it that outweighs the how silly I feel as I'm doing a laughter yoga class and I'm acting it up, hamming it up, or just making funny faces, whatever it is to help people relieve stress.
Well, it was not easy for me. I'm a very person. Being a doctor, you kind of get into this persona of like, being a
Mhm,
serious person.
mhm,
And so generally I am I had very hard time when I was understanding this concept of laughing
mhm.
and laughing yoga. So before we go a little bit further, tell me, why do you think laughing is important?
I think laughing is important because so many of us take ourselves too seriously. As you say, you had this persona, oh, I'm a doctor, and so I need to be serious. And when we do that, we were creating this identity in our minds. We've got our ego going on. We've got all the thoughts going on, and it it can be oppressive. With laughing and laughter yoga, it's a kind of a meditation that allows you to, once you get into laughing, it allows you to empty your mind. Because at the end of a session, the beginning of a session, you may have had, so much weight, the weight of the world on you. And that at the end, once you have just let loose, your mind is empty and free of those thoughts. The problems may still be there, but you are better able to approach them afterwards.
So when you do laugh, how does it help you? You said that it relieves your stress and it makes you
Mhm.
feel good. How does it do that? Especially if you're not, like, for me, like, growing up, people said, don't cry for don't laugh for no reason. Are you crazy? If the girls are laughing in the corners, like, the parents would say, are you
Mhm.
crazy? Stop laughing.
Mhm. Yeah.
Or I also heard growing up, my mom saying, not my mom, but, like, my grandma saying that if
Mhm.
you laugh too much, then you'll have to cry, so don't laugh. And so that was like, that's how I kind of grew up. and
Yeah. Yeah.
and so and I think a lot of people have that kind of cultural blockage for
Mhm.
laughing. And so how does actually laughing help?
Well, I think you make a really good point that there it could be a cultural stigma attached to laughing, and laughing, not just laughing, but laughing, right? That, some places that people would think you were crazy. Um, but laughter, when you laugh, and when you laugh from your diaphragm, from your abdomen, what happens is you start to breathe more deeply, right? When we're under stress, we are breathing very shallowly.
That's true.
And when we do that, the carbon dioxide starts to or monoxide, I'm not sure which one, starts to build up into your lungs. And that creates the stress hormones going, right? So when you laugh, and you laugh from your diaphragm and from your abdomen, it starts to allow you to breathe more deeply. And so in so doing, it releases these endorphins that are the feel good hormone, this natural analgesic. And it makes you feel better. So that's one way that laughter works. I mean, there are so many other health benefits. When you're breathing more deeply, you boost your immune system. You're less prone to respiratory infections. It just it's a really good medicine.
Especially right now when you are trying to do all the exercises to strengthen your lung muscles.
Yeah.
uh, then, laughing could be a good exercise for breathing. Now I feel like, we have these chuckle muscle in our stomach. Have you ever seen, um or have you felt that when you are, like, really anxious or afraid, your stomach tightens up?
Yeah.
A lot
Yes.
of people, kind of, when they're going through really high stressful phase, they start having diarrhea or constipation.
Yeah.
Or people sometimes describe, some of my patients describe anxiety as a naughty feeling in their
Yes.
stomach.
Yes.
So there is this link of your emotions with your stomach. And so when you use those muscles, and especially, like, the big laughter you did,
Hmm.
the whole body is moving. And
Yeah.
when I started doing it myself, like, it was very hard for me to start laughing for no reason. So
Mhm.
I found other reasons to laugh. Okay. So, but when I started laughing, then I was laughing at myself for laughing. It was just
Yeah.
so when you laugh like that, right, like, your tummy is going up and down, and as your tummy is going up and down, there's a lot of, oxygen getting in. There's more space for, basically, when you're breathing deeply, your
Mhm.
diaphragm goes down, so there's more space for lungs to expand, and the more it
Mhm.
expands, the more air exchange could happen. So when
Mhm.
you're laughing and your diaphragm is going up and down, it is creating more space for lungs to absorb,
Yeah.
oxygen and feel good. And so, like I was talking, that it was very hard for me to, I also do laughing yoga
Mhm.
talks. And but it is really hard for me to start. It was hard. It's becoming
Mhm.
easier as I
Yeah.
practice. But, like, when some of my patients, they're, like, really depressed, as you know, I'm a psychiatrist and I specialize in treatment of
Mhm.
stress, anxiety, and depression. So a lot of my patients are actually depressed. And so you can't just ask them to laugh, because how does a depressed
Mhm.
person laugh? That is a big problem they are struggling with,
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
their mood is so down they just can't laugh.
Mhm.
Even things that used to make them laugh before, the pleasurable
Mhm.
activities,
Mhm.
is
Yeah.
usually does not make them laugh. So how do you help them? And
Yeah.
so I try to help each person wherever they are. So
Mhm.
some people I actually assign homework. I'm a doctor who assigns the homework to the patients. So I assign that your job is to read some jokes, or
Mhm.
watch, or listen, and then you have to tell the at least one joke to somebody every day. And what I found is that sometimes I had to read 10 jokes for me to be able to laugh at one, because some jokes
Mhm.
don't make sense to
Yeah.
me, and some jokes are making me laugh so much that
Mhm.
I'm like laughing so much I want to go and tell somebody, and I'm laughing while telling the joke. It's just so hard to even tell the joke
Mm.
because I'm laughing so much.
Yeah.
So the benefit I've found is that when you are telling a joke, you laugh more, because for you it
Mhm.
is funny, right? And
And
so
you know the punchline, right?
punchline. And so it gives you the most benefit, and therefore one of the techniques that you can use is to not only just read the jokes, or watch, or listen, but also tell the joke, because when you're telling the joke you will have to laugh. Now, coming to some of my patients who are depressed and have hard time laughing, they have hard time with this too. And
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
in those cases, sometimes I even tell them, like, if you have to laugh artificially, and that is one question that a lot of people say, if I'm laughing for no reason, like I'm not actually happy, would it really help? What do you think, Patricia? If somebody is not actually, like, me and you, we just laughed and we kind of got feeling good feeling, but if
Mhm.
somebody is just kind of fake laughing, or, like, so they're not feeling good and just laughing, do you think that could also benefit?
It does. I mean, it's proven, it's scientifically proven that the brain, or the brains, I guess we have several, don't know the difference between a real laugh and a fake laugh. If you're laughing, your body's laughing. It thinks that you're laughing because you're happy, and it releases the hormones. You still have the same health benefits that, if you laugh for real or if you fake laugh. And additionally, once you fake laugh, you can start to build this chuckle muscle, and then it becomes easier to laugh, even in difficult situations. So yes, absolutely, it's proven.
Yeah. Even the fake laughing would get your chuckle muscles stimulated,
Yeah.
and it would make your stomach move, and when that happens your diaphragm is going to move, so at least you'll get the breathing benefit. Another thing I found, that if you're trying to laugh, you can't be crying at the same time.
Well, unless you're laughing so hard that you're crying, right?
So that's a laughing tear, like, tears of happiness. But
Yeah.
a lot of people go through these mixed emotions. They're laughing and
Mhm.
crying at the same time. For most people, when you are laughing, it is hard to cry at the same time. You kind of laugh and then you cry, and then you laugh and then you cry. So even
Yeah.
when you're having the mixed emotion,
Yeah. Yeah.
you're getting some break between those crying
Yeah.
episodes.
And I was just going to say that the tears, when you're laughing so hard that you're tearing up, that's just an emotional release, and so your body needs that. So it's a good thing.
That's wonderful. Yeah. So you were talking about these laughing groups.
Mhm.
So where can people find the laughing groups to join?
Well, when I was in France, it was about 2 months into my stay in France. I wanted to meet people. I wanted to connect with people, and so I went on to online to a meetup uh, group, a meetup website, and I saw a laughter yoga, and I went and I was introduced to it, and it was really hard to, as you say, to laugh for no reason in front of all of these strangers, it's awkward. But after you do it a couple of times, you feel better after the first time. It just works. But after you do it for a couple of times, it just gets easier and easier and easier. So online, you can find groups. Laughter yoga.org, I think, is some place where you can go to learn more about laughter yoga and maybe find some places to find some classes. And at noon Eastern time, I do a virtual laughter yoga class. So you can check that out too.
Where is it if people want to join that?
So I have it's a Zoom link. I have an event set up on my The Courage Catalyst Facebook page, so they can go there and get reminders.
So I'll try to put the link in
Okay.
the comment section or description section where people
Mhm.
can join. So every Saturday, you said?
Is daily. It's daily except for tomorrow,
Oh,
but
okay.
daily at noon Eastern time. Yes.
All
Mhm.
right, great. That'd be
Mhm.
wonderful. So like 10 minutes, we can join and just laugh with you.
Yeah, and the thing about 10 minutes is laughter and laughter yoga is a real cardio exercise, a cardio workout. And in 10 minutes of vigorous laughter, it's like being on a rowing machine for 30 minutes. So, a lot of times people don't have a whole lot of time to exercise, but 10 minutes laughing for 10 minutes gets you a 30-minute rowing workout. So it's
Anything
great.
that saves my time, that's great.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It
because
makes
like
you laugh too, right?
because whenever I try to do it myself, I do it like for a one minute or 2 minutes.
Mhm.
It's kind of hard to maintain for 10 minutes, unless
Yeah,
I see somebody, and laughing is contagious. Like so you
it
see
is.
somebody laughing, and then
Mhm,
you start laughing. When my kids were young, there was a song that we used to play, and it
mhm.
it used to kind of goes like, laughing is fun. You can laugh with anyone. And so we would kind of laugh, and then we would do this laughing competition. So like one person would start laughing, and then the other person is trying not to laugh, but then, because everybody else is laughing, they start laughing. And so that we used to have this little games that used to help us. And
Yeah.
so people with kids can also play those games to help them, but people can join the groups or come on Facebook with you,
Mhm, mhm.
because I think seeing other people laugh really helps.
Yeah,
I think that the same thing happens if you are in a show, in the comedy show, because other
mhm.
people are laughing, then you also end up laughing. And I think that
Yeah,
is the reason, the shows sometimes play the laughter audio for people to
yeah,
laugh
yeah.
with them. And so,
Well, and I've noticed now that like the late night shows don't have audiences, that their jokes kind of fall flat. So that laughter, the real audience laughter matters.
yes. And so, one of the questions people are putting in, is that it is a struggle to fake laugh, and it hurts more because it is fake. What would you answer to that?
It hurts more mentally or hurts more physically. I think I'm not really sure about that. I mean, I think it's a struggle, it's an effort. Laughing should be fun, right? And so if you're faking, it feels forced, then that doesn't necessarily feel good. But I think if you can push through that and know that you are doing your body good, then and continue to do that, then I think that will help. In addition, I guess the question really is it physically or is it more an emotional hurt?
Yeah. Well, either way, like, me being a doctor, I know that nobody likes to take medication,
Right?
right? If you have
Yeah.
an illness and you're supposed to take a medication, you don't take it because you like it. You take it because you know it is going
Yeah.
to help
Hmm.
you in the long run. And nobody likes to take
Hmm.
injections, or,
Hmm.
nobody likes to wear the mask. But every time you are going out, you are wearing the
Yeah.
mask, right? Are you? And,
Hmm.
because it is necessary,
Hmm.
because when you wear the
Hmm.
mask, not only you are protecting yourself, but you're also protecting others. If every all of us are wearing masks at this time,
Hmm.
during the COVID-19 pandemic going on, then we are creating two layers of protection. So I encourage everybody to wear mask.
Mhm.
Wearing mask is not easy. Like, it's not easy for me. I wear glasses, so my glasses become foggy a little bit, and it's uncomfortable,
Yeah.
right? On the other
Mhm.
hand,
Mhm.
every time
Mhm.
I leave, or I advise my patients, my family, if you leave your home, you're going to wear the mask. It could be a fabric mask, or
Mhm.
even paper mask if you don't have anything. It doesn't have to be the N95 masks that are out of supply, but just a reusable fabric
Mhm.
mask also give you partial protection, like hand washing or social distancing would do. So
Yeah.
you do things even when
Yeah.
they are uncomfortable, because in the long run they are going to help you.
And I will say this, I'm a life coach and I focus on confidence and courage. And, for me, I do things now that are challenging, that, many people would say, why do it? It's too hard. But I do that because I want to live my best life. I feel, and so I feel that, the pain or the discomfort of doing something that is out of my comfort zone is so worth it. And the thing about laughter and doing it even when it feels uncomfortable or it feels forced, when you start to do that, you start to build a confidence in yourself. You start to lower your inhibitions, and you start to relax more and allow life to flow more freely. So there's that added benefit as well. But for me, it's doing things that are out of your comfort zone, stretch you and help you grow.
Yeah, and I think that is very important that people realize that sometimes you do things that doesn't make you feel good in the moment, but in the long run it is helpful. But like,
Yeah.
laughing is something that, not in the long run only, but in the short run too, you can get so much benefit because it makes you feel good.
Yeah, yeah. And I just see a question over here about, well, how can you fake laugh? Isn't it the mood that makes you laugh? And I will say that it's, our thoughts do create our emotions, but our body can help. If we are acting in a certain way, we can fool our bodies to believe that we have this other emotion. And so it works hand in hand. I think the key of it is, if you want to try this, if you're open to trying this, is to be open and to not be resistant to the idea of laughing for no reason, fake laughing. Um, some of the things that I do, when I feel like, oh, I really could use a good laugh, but I'm not really in the mood, is I will go to YouTube and I will watch reruns of Carol Burnett skits. And this does a couple of things. This does a couple of things for me, because I was a child when those were out. And so it takes me back to a happier time in my life. So right then I'm feeling better. But then watching them do their skits and then doing the bloopers, they're laughing themselves. It's hilarious. And so it kind of gets me started. So that's another thing that people can do. Oh, Mr. Bean is another one that just, I lose it when I see him.
Wonderful. Yeah. So one of the audiences are sharing their thoughts that laughter heals the inner spirit and
Yeah.
releases healing
Mm.
endorphins and prevents
Yes.
disease and refocus your attention from the
Yes.
negative. And she says the
Mhm.
reality is the benefit of laughter is internal as well as external. Therefore, the internal
Yes.
body is not aware if laughter is fake or not. And that's so true. And
Yeah.
it kind of
Mhm.
it brings me to the point where it is hard to fake it, but you don't have to fake it all the time.
Yeah,
People
it is.
start talking about, oh, let's do
Mhm.
laughing yoga and fake it until you make it. But you really don't have to only laugh with the laughing yoga. You can just call
Mhm.
a friend and talk to them and just laugh together, or sing some
Yeah,
funny
yeah.
songs and laugh, or tell a joke, as I said, like, tell a joke. Or the funny thing I do sometimes, when my mood is down and I'm in a crying mode, I would call my brother and I say, I am crying. I want to laugh. Can you tell me a joke? It's like, okay, all of a sudden you're asking me to tell you a joke. And I need to hear a joke. Tell me a joke. And he usually tells me a funny joke, and then I laugh. So there are many ways, but would you mind kind of giving us a little sample of how you make people laugh, and maybe we can laugh with you for a few minutes
Sh-
before we end this?
sure. Sure. I'll do a few of the laughter exercises that we do that help to produce the fake laughter, and then it starts to become more real. The first one that I'd like to do is the hello laughter, the Western hello laugh.
Hmm,
So, Rosina, you can just follow along with me.
sure.
You just wave and smile and laugh. And then in
And when I
between,
start laughing
in
like that,
order
I'm
to
laughing at myself. When we are laughing like that, then I'm laughing at myself because I'm laughing, it feels really funny.
right, you're laughing hysterically for, it's like, this is stupid. And then in between to help us breathe, because when we laugh, sometimes we can get out of breath. And the reason laughter yoga is called laughter yoga is because of the breathing. In between, we will do ho, ho, ha, 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 ho, ho,
Oh,
ha, ha,
ha,
ha,
ha, ha.
ho,
Oh,
ho,
oh,
ha,
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 ha, ha.
ho,
Oh,
ho,
oh,
ha,
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 ha.
ho,
Oh,
ho,
oh,
ha, ha,
ha, ha,
ha.
ha.
Very good, very good, very good. Yay!
Let's do it again.
Now we're going to do mental floss. All right.
Okay.
So, you get up in the morning and you brush your teeth, you do the dental floss. Well, sometimes our minds need to be cleaned out. So we're going to do mental floss. You go like this. You go, ho, ho, ha, 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 ho,
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 ha,
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 ha.
ho,
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 ha,
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 ha.
ho,
Ho,
ha,
ho,
ha, ha.
ha.
Now we're going to do argument laughter. So you're just going to wag your finger and laugh.
Hard It's hard
Now
to
we're going
laugh
to
when you're
do
arguing
that.
in real. It's hard to laugh when you're arguing in real. So how do you like, we were just kind of funny because we were making those gestures. So I was like making me laugh. But if you're in the middle of an argument, you can't just laugh like that.
Yeah. Then somebody gets more angry, right? And you laugh harder, right? So now we can do forgiveness laughter, right?
Hmm.
So we just go like, and then and then finally to wrap out these three laughs, forgiveness laughter, and oh no, appreciation laughter. I'm sorry. So you just go.
Okay, this yes.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Yay! So that's a little taste of what the antics that we do. Of course, I'm on my feet. I'm more lively,
Yeah.
but it really just kind of it just lightens your mood. I just I can't say how good it makes me feel.
Yeah, yeah. I noticed two, three things right now. I do feel lighter, like
Mhm.
before the session when we were not able to get all these audio and video set up,
Yes, yes.
like my pressure was going up and my shoulders were getting tight, and I was like, "Oh my God, it's going to go on time and everything." And then, as I'm laughing with you, I forgot about all the tension. I forgot about what people would say when they watch this or whatever. I'm
Yeah,
just kind of laughing with you, so I feel this release of
yeah,
pressure from my
yep,
shoulders. So that's one thing. I do feel a little tired also. I think
yeah.
because the
Mhm,
muscles are all being used, and
mhm.
something that I was not feeling before, I'm feeling now. So
Yeah.
now I'm feeling that, yeah, a little tired, but not like bad kind of tired, just like I'm feeling my body more. I'm kind of more in tune with my body now.
Yeah, and I think part of that is, yes, you've used the muscles, but also, when you're tense, right? That we don't realize that is stressful. That is that, and that's stressful, and that creates this tension. And so when we release that tension, where it is a release, it does kind of make you feel tired.
Yeah. One of the things that I teach my patients, when we are teaching them the deep breathing, we
Mhm.
kind of ask them to open their arms and breathe in deep.
Yes, yes, yes.
So like when you're
Yeah.
crying, you're
Mhm.
kind of curled up and you're
Yeah.
kind of crying like this. But when you're laughing, you're kind of opening, and so
Mhm.
you're opening your chest and you're laughing that
Yes,
way. So I think from
yes,
that viewpoint also, it helps expand your chest. It makes you, when you're laughing, and
mhm,
it kind of helps you breathe better
yes,
and uplift your
mhm,
mood too.
mhm,
Yeah, I see some of the comments going on the side. And so one person asked, isn't it,
mhm.
instead of using the fake laugh, telling jokes that make people laugh real is more helpful? And I think it is, so there is no, when you're trying to fake
Yeah,
laugh, that doesn't mean that
eh,
you have to stop the other laugh. Use all the resources you have to make yourself laugh. And,
yeah,
I was listening to something the other day where Charlie Chaplin said that the day that goes without laughter is a waste. I'm paraphrasing, but it was
yeah,
something like
yeah,
that. And so there are
yeah,
days when you have not talked to your friends or you have not watched something and you haven't
mhm,
laughed. Making this intention of laughing, for reason or for no reason, but just an intention of
yeah,
laughing every day, is something that can help.
yeah,
If you are able
yeah,
to read or say a joke that makes you laugh, great. If not, then make the fake laugh. I think the second thing I have realized is that when you are just listen to a
mhm,
joke, you may laugh for a few seconds or for a minute. It is hard to just continue to laugh for 5, 10, 15 minutes. And I think you said that if you do 10 minutes of laughter exercise, it kind of gives you the similar
mhm.
benefit 30 minutes of aerobic exercise. And so
Yeah, 30 minutes on a rowing machine, and
so the problem is that
mhm,
when you are just saying one joke and you kind of laugh a little bit, it is difficult to sustain unless you're watching a program that is constantly making you laugh. So sometimes you do need other
yeah,
tools, other resources to give your body that sustained
yeah,
exercise.
yeah,
So
yeah, and I wanna share the history of, I'd like to share the history of a little bit of the history of laughter yoga. It was created by a doctor, Dr. Madan Kartaria, in India, and he had done research on the health benefits of laughter. And did all this research, and he discovered that there were these true health benefits. So he decided one day he was going to go out to a park and gather a few people around and in a circle and start telling jokes. And so he did. And that worked, and they laughed and they had a great time. Well, after about 2 weeks, they ran out of clean jokes. And so the jokes started to get dirty, and some people took offense. And so he had to find another way to get people to laugh. And that's when he realized that, well, the fake laughter has the same health benefits as real laughter. If we act as children and play these games and antics, then we can still have fun and not offend other people. And so it started out actually by telling jokes.
All right. Yeah. And it makes total sense because, yeah, you don't want to laugh at the stake of other people. You don't want somebody to
Mm-hmm.
kind of take
Mm-hmm.
offense on your laughing.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I
Mm-hmm.
find, some comedians use bad language to make people laugh. And I don't like that. And so you don't have to use the bad
Mm-hmm.
language. You
Yeah.
don't have to laugh at the expense of other people. You need to have other tools to be able to get the benefit without hurting other
Yeah.
people and just kind of getting the benefit for everybody.
Yeah.
Well, we're kind of towards the end of the show. So, do you have any other last messages, Patricia?
I would just encourage people who may be skeptical or a little bit more resistant to the idea of just laughing for no reason, to find a reason to laugh then, right? Because, uh, especially during these times when things are so stressful and it's hard for us to see when this is going to end. um, it's so important to take care of yourself. And, it's important to make sure your immune system is at the highest level it can be, and laughter helps that. And so I just encourage you to, whether you decide to take a laughter yoga class, whether you decide to watch some funny videos, whether you choose to, have a Zoom group where you tell jokes so that you can laugh, whatever it is that gets you laughing, laugh, laugh.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Patricia, for joining us. And can you just repeat one more time if people want to reach you, whether to watch your laughing yoga at noon Eastern time? Where do they log in?
Yes. So people can reach me or learn more about me at www.thecouragecatalyst.com, and my Facebook page, which is where I have an event created for the daily laughter yoga sessions, is at the Courage Catalyst.
Thank you. And I know you are bringing a lot of courage to people. So thank you for being the courage catalyst for all of us. And if any of you have any other questions, please feel free to reach out to us. All my
Mhm.
blogs and all my videos are archived on the website www.drrosina.com. You can reach me on
Mhm.
Facebook. We have a group called Happy and Healthy Mind
Mhm.
for everybody to join. For our healthcare professionals, we have a group called Healthy Health Professionals for Healthy Minds. So please join
Mhm.
us, ask your questions, share your insight, and stay happy, healthy, and safe. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you, Patricia.
Thank you.